You have to be good at coaxing out of people their ultimate fantasy. What are you really here for?
Was this something that you kind of set out to do, or was this something that just happened?
I was 21, I was broke, I was about to be homeless, I was definitely starving because I had to pick rent over food for a long time. And I thought, honestly, I'm too young and I'm too pretty to be struggling this hard. And I didn't want to just find some dude and get married, and I'm not very good at dancing. So I thought, well, let's go for the whole enchilada.
Did you feel a certain way about it? Like, did you feel conflicted, or were you just like, this is what I got to do and I'm going to do it?
Oh, it was definitely, this is what I have to do or be homeless. It didn't matter to me at all. I was just so happy I was going somewhere that was going to be warm, safe, have food. Honestly, that was all I was thinking at the time.
I completely understand that. Do you think that some people wouldn't?
Yeah, I think some people would be like, well, everywhere is hiring, just go get a job at McDonald's. And it's like, great. And wait 2 weeks to get paid $12 an hour when I need 2 grand right now, or they're going to throw me out of my apartment. You know what I'm saying? So,
Was this something that you had done before, or did you start right at the Mustang Ranch?
so when I had turned 18, freshly turned 18, still in high school, I signed up to do webcamming and I made a bit of money off of that. And all you had to do, or all I had to do at the time, was at night for 2 hours, I would get on there, I would talk to people, I would do different things, they would pay, and it was all just over video. It was never personal. I never exchanged personal information with those people. And at some point, I just stopped doing it. Well, I was dating this guy and I had stopped doing it because I didn't need to. But I had that experience. And this guy propositioned me, this older man that I was not physically attracted to. And he knew that none of the young girls that he was looking for on these dating sites were actually going to be attracted to him. So he offered me money to come and see him, not have sex, just come and see him. And I said, okay, I'll do that. And it turned into going to have sex with him for money. And that was just, I don't know. I think about it now and I'm like, that was wildly irresponsible. Like, I just met him first in a hotel room and then I went to his house. And it was just it seemed very normal to me. He was a very nice man. It was very, I never had to do anything I didn't want to do. And he would pay me more than I thought that it was worth to do these things, more than I thought it was worth to have dinner with him. He'd pay me a couple $100 just to sit there, but also pay for the meal. And I thought, this is crazy to me.
So when did you then start working at the ranch?
So that wasn't until years later. I had turned 21. A memory dinged in the back of my mind from almost 10 years prior. I had seen one of these Nevada ranches on a late night HBO show. So I Googled brothels in America, and three of them popped up. It was actually, Mustang wasn't the first one. It was the Bunny Ranch. That was the one that had been on the television show. And then it was the Mustang Ranch. And then it was this ranch, Sherry's, outside of Vegas. And I submitted an application to all three. They have one right on their website. It's your name, three pictures of you, and why do you want to suck dick for a living?
What did you put down? Like, that's the job. Like, what do you put down on that job application? Like, because everybody gets that question, like, why do you want to work here? Well, for money. But, like,
Yes.
do you remember what you put
Oh,
down?
yes. I remember blowing all the smoke in the world as you do with any job application. I am such a caregiver. I would be so attentive and personable with my clients. Yeah. I told them I would be the best because I had a customer service background.
Do they know, though, that that's smoke? Or are they really like,
I don't know if they even read that paragraph, to be honest with you.
so then you come in, they just kind of like, you come in for an interview? Or what do you,
They call you. They call you and they'll do like a Zoom interview to make sure that you are who you say you are and that you look like your pictures.
is that kind of ultimately what it's about? Is like, look, do you look good? And then that's pretty much all we need.
Well, it depends on, do you look good to who? Because you can't just have one standard of beauty here. That's not gonna, it's gonna sell, but you're not gonna meet the needs of everyone else. You have to have every age, every body type, every different race, every flavor of lady you need to have here. So that's part of the madam's job, being a great madam, filling all those needs. So, but yeah, basically, if you've got the right look and you are who you say you are.
So, like, when you start, Like I think you starting another job, somebody shadows you, or you gotta, you talk to HR, you do that kind of stuff. Like you just go in, like, okay, here's your first day, and you go for it.
Oh, no, no, no. I had never been really in the industry. I'd never worked in clubs. I'd never worked the street. I didn't know any other women in this industry. And I was scared. I was shaking like a leaf. The madam took my little hand and she showed me the ropes, and she was with me maybe 6, 7 hours that day. And training is usually like a 2.5 hour thing. I train new girls now. I'm the big sister now that I've been here 8 years. But so the madam herself personally trained me for all day long. She set me up with two big sisters and said, you can go to her or her anytime and trust their opinion, trust their advice. And she took me into the bar and I said, that guy over there. And she kind of laughed at me, and he was just sitting by himself. And I was like, that's going to be my first client. She's like, oh, yeah, go ahead, you know. And that was my first client.
Do they pick you or do you pick them, I
It
guess?
depends who's been here before. The clients that have been here before, they can pick out the new girls, obviously. And you talk to them and they're like, I remember this one guy being like, this is when you ask me back there, honey. And I was like, oh, let's go then, I guess. You tell me what we're doing here. But no, so I had a big sister. I picked out that guy in the bar that was going to be my first client. I approached him. We had an awkward conversation for 10 minutes. And he said, this is the point at which you take me back there, because he'd been here before. And I said, okay, let me go grab my big sister. And she went in the room with me. And she negotiated the whole thing. I had never negotiated before. I didn't know what good money was. she, she sold me to him for an amount of money that I was so excited for. I was gonna cry. I was so excited. And now I wouldn't give someone the time of day for like 15 minutes for that price, but at the time, over the moon.
How much was it at the time?
I can't say anything about pricing, unfortunately.
But what do you have to learn in the sense of like, right? Like stick like you know how to have sex, like what do you have to learn kind of how to do?
So you're not going to reinvent the wheel. It's sex. It's and different strokes for different folks, right? So you have to be good at coaxing out of people their ultimate fantasy. What are you really here for? What do you really have to spend? And you pick up different things about people that tell you how much you could ask them for in the beginning, because it's all in negotiation. And if you ask for too much, they're going to run out the door. But if you ask for too little and they agree right away, you're kicking yourself because you know they would have spent 3 times that amount.
So it's not like a set price.
No.
It's a negotiation. Oh, I didn't know
And
that.
every lady is an independent contractor. So we all have in our heads like a set menu of standard pricing for things. And we discuss amongst each other what we've done for what price recently, just to update each other on like the going rates. But yeah, it's a negotiation.
Missionary is this price, but if you want to go this doggy style, it's going to cost you an extra $10. Like how much of a negotiation are we talking about? Like every little itemized thing or just kind of like, I
That's going
guess.
to depend on the lady. I don't really hustle people that hard about individual positions, or um, if we do this and then we do a little bit of that. I just say, this is a fair price. This is what I'm asking for. And if they don't have it, we talk about, well, how can we compromise so that you're happy and I'm happy?
For you, is everything on the table?
No, not everything is on the table.
What is off of the table?
BDSM and backdoor activities. I don't want to be beat by people because I don't trust people. And I don't want to beat anybody because I don't derive pleasure from that, even if they are. Um, and I just don't do backdoor activities. I don't like it.
Backdoor is butt stuff. Are we
Yes,
talking about something else that I haven't heard of?
no,
Okay.
butt stuff.
You never know anymore, right? Like there's all kind. However people get down is however people get down. Now are your boundaries pretty standard or are you the wild one or are you the prude for lack of a better phrase?
I am such a brothel prude. I am. I am like your standard girl next door, good time. That's basically the only thing I want to do. I don't want to do weird shit. I don't want to do fantasy parties. We can go on an out date. I would love to go out on the town with you, but I'm just a regular girl.
Are there some women that are much more comfortable like, "Man, you're doing what?"
Yes, yes. There, I hear stories from coworkers and I'm like, "Oh my God, you're making me blush."
So then, like, how many clients would you say, like, what's your average client, a day, a week, month, like whatever time frame?
At this point, it's been thousands upon thousands. But it's quality over quantity. You want to try for at least one client a day. And if you're not going to have one client a day, maybe double up the next day or make sure that your big fish is coming in that weekend.
How many do you have to say, like, okay, I can make a viable living off of this?
One,
Just one a day, or just one period?
one a week, one a month. It depends on the guy. You
Can
don't
you
you
say,
don't
like,
need a lot of regular clientele to make a living in this industry. There are girls that don't
so
have any regular clientele, and sometimes, or all the time, the people that they see is the first and the last time that they're ever seeing that person.
is it more common to have regulars or more common to just be?
It's more common to have regulars because people are going to fall in love with you or at least like you for a long time.
Are most of the people who come in, are they really looking for sex? Is it just sex, or is it something else?
I think they want to be heard. I think a lot of people, I think it's 50% of people coming in here because they need sex and that intimacy, and 50% of the time they need companionship and they need to be heard.
Is it paying by the hour or paying by the kind of service? Like,
Again, that'll go
how does
back
that
to the
work?
lady that you're negotiating with. I try to encompass the activities and the time in the price that I give.
The reason that I ask is that, let's just assume it's an hour.
Right.
Like, how much of that time is actually going to be kind of doing the deed, and how much of it is going to be just like, man, we're just kind of talking? And
I'll give you an example. The very last client I saw paid for a 2 hour appointment and he spent about 45 minutes prepping for his party, showering, doing all his things while I'm in the room with him. 15 minutes for us to be together. An hour and 15 minutes telling me about Han Solo in the original Star Wars. The cantina scene, why it should have been different than it was. I can't.
I will, as a Star Wars fan, I completely understand this man.
God.
This is one of the biggest controversies in Star Wars, the Katina
This
scene. I
is
respect him.
really? Is this
This is a constant source of discussion and controversy.
okay?
But that is interesting. Like, that's not the thing that I would have necessarily talked about. But so then, what's your client like, right? Like, are and let's just stereotype the crap out of people to make, just for reference, so we kind of understand this. Is the client, is the typical client kind of the nerdy guy, the guy cheating on his wife, the guy who feels like he has to pay for it, the guy who just wants companionship? Like, let's just stereotype the crap out of people. What would you say is kind of your typical client?
All of those men. All of those men, and more recently in the last few years, it's been couples coming in to put a band-aid on their divorce.
I don't feel like that's a great way to heal from your divorce, is having sex with another woman, but I am not those people. Maybe, does it seem to work?
No, no. The couples that come in here that it's a band-aid on a divorce situation, it's the last ditch effort one of them has made in an attempt to hold things together and say, hey, no, I am really cool. See, I'm gonna pay for you to sleep with somebody else. And it fucking
Oh,
backfires.
yeah, that's not gonna
No.
work. I'm a married man. I would never,
And
ever, ever
on
think
the
that that was a
other
good
on
idea.
the other end of that, we see tons more couples that come in here who are just having a good time for the night and that's it, and that's all that this is to them, and they can go on and have a happy marriage.
Is it exclusively men? Do you see women?
I see women, yes.
Is there a lot of women by themselves? Like, what percent of your clientele would you say are just women by themselves?
I would say less than 1%.
Oh, so that's still not a lot
No,
necessarily.
no. The majority of women I see are coming in with their husband.
Going back to something that you said, like when you talked about seeing thousands and thousands of clients, what would you say to somebody who heard that and were like, oh my God, this woman is whatever word they want to put?
I'd be like, yeah, baby, I've ridden enough dicks to ride to the moon and back.
Or some, but do other women struggle with it? Like, you seem to be like, fuck it, this is what I do. But do other women seem to struggle with
They
that?
do, and I just don't know what to tell those people. It's the same people that are out here trying to control everyone else's decisions. It's like if it doesn't affect you,
Could you ever see your life changing though?
I when I'm not gonna be doing full service active sex work anymore, I want to be in a management position here. I've expressed that to management and they've been very receptive to that. So that's my path moving forward. I do it because I need to educate people that this is normal. Normal women like myself do this, and we have normal lives, and we have cats and dogs, and we try to grow shit in the springtime.
Are you ready for some listener submitted
Yes,
questions?
let's do it.
How competitive is this? Like, are there a lot of women that are trying to get in this field, or are you trying to find people to do it?
It's very competitive. We get hundreds of applications a week here. That's what the madams have told me. I don't see any applications. I I don't I can't put a word in edgewise for any ladies looking to get into the business, but we're always hiring and there's several new ladies that start every week. I'm very aware that this is a privileged industry, that there's only 22 legal ranches. They're only in Nevada. A lot of women can't find childcare to fly across the country and make that happen.
Do you have a schedule? Like, do you work like 9 to 5? Like, what's
Yes, I do have a set schedule. It's 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. All the ladies here work 12-hour shifts every day of our tour. Tours can range from 7 days to, you can arrange it with the madam, but they only want you to stay for 3 weeks and then take a break for your mental health and then you can come back.
but then like how do you work around a
Menstruating.
woman's natural cycle? I guess.
So we use period sponges from Europe to mask it. They're specifically made for menstruation. We have red condoms. The client can't see it. They don't know it's there. And we don't disclose that information. And I've only had one person ever make me feel bad about it. And thank God I had a coworker with me. It was a two-girl party, and we just doubled back down on him. Like, you've been married 35 fucking years. You've never seen a period before? Well, get all the way out of here. What?
But will you turn down clients and be like, no, not no, no,
Oh yeah.
I'm not doing it with that dude.
Yes. I would never say that to their face. I would never make someone feel offended or less than. If for whatever reason I don't want to see them, I tell them it is an astronomical price that they couldn't possibly afford.
Is that mainly looks or personality?
It's all personality. I'm not sitting there judging people based on the way they look. If I can find one thing to like about you, we can have a good time. But if you're a piece of shit, I just cannot be around you.
Do you is there kind of like a type of guy that you generally kind of like, oh, that's my type. That's the guy that's gonna pick me.
Nice middle-aged man.
How much do you make doing this?
It varies. On a really good year, you can make more than $250,000. Or my best year to date, I did 256 just here, and then I still had my OnlyFans, and I still had real estate investments and my portfolio making money.
Oh, so you're investing it in everything.
I've been in this business for 8 years, and you can blow a lot of money, but you're making a lot of money, so you should do something with it. Kind of like a bell curve, like a professional athlete. You have all this time to make all this money, and then it drops off, and what are you going to do with the rest of your life?
Is that what's the most you've ever heard of somebody making in a year?
One time I asked the madam on a particularly good month if I had been top booker that month, and she said, "You are, but it's not the most I've ever seen." And I was shocked. I thought, well, what's the most you've ever seen in a single month? And she said 289,000.
Is that going to be quality versus quantity?
Yeah, that's the bigger prices are always quality versus quantity. And those are always the people that are much easier to deal with. The man who's going to drop the price of a brand new truck on you for the weekend, he's probably only going to have sex with you twice.
What's the most one person has ever done on like a one-time thing?
I don't think I can say the number because I'm not allowed to say prices with acts. But I'll tell you, it was a blue collar man and he put it on three different credit cards.
Can you say the number of figures in the sense like four?
Oh, it was a five figures.
Oh, did they have to go through like tests? Like, how do you make sure you're not picking all kinds of stuff up?
People get the ick, and I get it. I'm OCD myself, but we get tested here every 7 days. In fact, you can still see the little mark on my arm. They just did my blood work last night. That's part of our testing. They do your blood work, and you get that repeated every 7 days. So we're fully protected here, and then we use protection for everything, and there's no body fluid exchange. So we're as safe as we can be. And then we have, because HSV 1 and 2 can be transmitted via shedding of skin cells when you're not even having an active outbreak, we have people shower, hot, soapy shower right before the experience, even if they just took a shower and they drove over here 5 minutes from their house, get right back in the shower, scrub down. I've had to put grown men back in my shower and be like, I know you didn't wash. I'm going to wash you. So we're as safe as we can be. Nothing's 1,000%. That being said, we have kept medical records since 1971 is when the state mandated that we have this rigorous testing schedule. We've kept medical records since then, and no one has ever gotten anything. Not a girl receiving something from a client, not a client contracting anything from us. And that's also why that we're required to live here for our clients' medical safety. So I'm away from my husband. This is my bedroom for the whole 13 days that I'm here this trip. And that is so that they can know exactly where I am and what I'm doing 24/7. Otherwise, they can't guarantee the client's medical safety.
Will people ever try to like not wear a condom?
They'll ask.
I would imagine what your answer is. It's
Yeah.
just you ever had somebody back out?
Oh, yeah. That's happened before and after they've handed me the money. And after you hand me the money, you're not getting the money back.
The one that always like fascinates me is like, do you ever have like dads who bring their son?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The weirder one, though, and the more common one is mothers that bring their sons.
That really
That
happens?
happens way more often than dads bringing their sons.
Do people feel odd about that?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know we
I
do.
would feel a little.
Us ladies in the bar, oh, we talk up a storm when someone's mom brings their son in, and it's clearly an uncomfortable situation. There are certain situations where that's totally fine. I talk to plenty of mothers with disabled sons, adult disabled sons. I don't give a rip about that. But if you're bringing your freshly 18-year-old baby in here and you're picking out the girl he's going to have his first time with, lady, talk to somebody.
That's a little bit. Will women turn them down?
I will. Someone will take their money, but I turn all of those parties down.
Or is there male? Are there men who work there?
There are no men who work here currently because of the way the county laws are. State laws in Nevada would completely allow for that.
What would you say is kind of the difference between people who do this on the legal side versus people who do it on the illegal side? Does it seem
There's
different?
nothing but opportunity. Those women just don't have the opportunity to come out here and do this, like I said, because it's a childcare issue, it's a location issue, it's a support issue.
Yeah. Does it feel a lot safer?
It is a lot safer. And it feels that way because it is.
Do you think that like this should be legal nationwide?
Yes. And legal being the key term, not decriminalized, not just turn a blind eye and give a free for all to everybody. Needs to be legal, regulated, taxed.
Are you good at it? They're asking, are you good at sex? Like, do you feel like I'm pretty good at it?
Oh, why don't you come out here and find out? No, I'm kidding. Yes,
That's a great
I feel
answer,
like I'm
though.
great at it. Like I said, you can't reinvent the wheel, but
But have you ever had somebody just rock your world?
oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. Recently, I walked a man out about 3 months ago and I said, "Look at that face, ladies. Remember that face. That's the second best lay of my life."
what did he do? Did he like, what was his strategy? I need some tips for my wife. Like,
Good
I need
God,
to.
he just laid it on me. It's like we psychologically, he knew what I needed. We were just twin flames.
Is that unusual, or are most people just kind of? I'm just gonna say this. Is that unusual, or are most people kind of like pumping away?
Most people are there for themselves, which is fine. It's fine. I don't go to the nail salon and ask my nail tech like, "How are you today? Are you comfortable? Do you need anything?" Like, I'm there, I pay you, I leave. For a lot of people, that's what this is, and that's fine.
What is your most frequent request? What is your most unusual request?
The most frequent request is the standard half and half, and that's a little bit of head and a little bit of whatever position they like.
Yeah, that's really all the questions I got. Is there anything else that you think that we missed, or what's kind of how can if people want to learn more and visit you, or just
You could find me on the TikTok and the Instagram. The Modern Working Girl Official is my name on both of those platforms. Um, I'm really just out here to educate women, especially women who are in my industry and who are looking for a safer option.
Do some women like have no idea what they're getting into?
Yes. Yeah. And I think about all the girls that are out there doing right now what I'm doing here in this safe space, and they're just as naive and sweet and tenderhearted as I am, and they're out there, and I wish they were here, you know. No, I think about them a
I'm good.
lot.
Is that kind of a commonality for a lot of women who do this? That they were in a situation where they had to do what they had to do?
Yeah. I don't think any a woman wakes up and says, you know what? Today I'm gonna suck strangers' dicks.